So, you have more innocent boy accidentally creates a harem and starts multiple wars for me?
Yes, sir, I do. And let me tell you, this isn't wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon season 4.
How did anything with a name like that even get this far?
Beats me, but after the subpar success of season 3, we're gonna kind of switch directions with this one.
Oh, I think I know where you're going.
Oh, you do, huh?
Yeah, product placement.
Oh, no, not at all, actually.
Well, what else could it be? That's kind of our go-to move.
Well, I was thinking instead of a vain cash grab, we could actually, make it good.
How drunk are you?
Very, but I still stand by.
Alright then, well, how do you plan to make this good exactly? I mean, after season 3, it's gonna be kind of hard to regain its former glory.
Actually, super simple, barely an annoyance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're gonna head back into the dungeon for more action sequences.
Smart, people like action.
And we're also gonna chuck it full of female characters for all the fan service.
Good, fans do like fan service.
Probably why they call it fan service. And so then anyway, we're gonna jump back into Belle reaching level 4.
That's the number of seasons we've made.
It sure is, but that's a complete coincidence that that's the case.
Great, so what can he do now that he's reached level 4? Does he have any new skills or anything like that?
Exactly the same things he's always done, just, slightly more now.
Oh, going through life-altering and potentially lethal circumstances just so that you could level up and do exactly the same things you've been doing, just slightly more lit.
It sure is, and Belle's like, hey, I want to get together just the most giantest party of side characters I possibly can and go right deep into the dungeon.
Oh, and why does he want to do that, though?
Vague, non-important reasons. We really just want to get him down there somehow.
Got it.
And so he's going to reach out to, every side character in existence, and they're all going to come join it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got Daphne, Cassandra,
Cynical Girl and Prophet Girl, for sure.
Olga and Chigusa.
I have no clue who those people are.
And of course, we've got walking fan service.
Who?
Well, I guess her real name is Aisha Belka, remember her?
Isn't she that Amazon warrior who Belle fought very hard to save Haruhime a few seasons ago?
Yeah, she was, but after he, destroyed her familia and forced her to join another one, she's into him now, and, she's wearing even less clothes than usual.
Ah, hence walking fan service. I get it
And
now.
so everyone's gonna say goodbye to Hestia and head into the dungeon.
Oh, cool. What's up with Hestia? She's one of my favorite characters, actually.
She will literally never be mentioned again in this episode, at least.
Ah, dang!
And then everyone's gonna go into the dungeon, they're all having a good time, everything feels like it's going smoothly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then they reach the lower floors with relative ease, but then they meet this monster, right?
Well, what's this guy like?
Well, let me tell you, this big old guy is named a Moss Huge, and he's gotten super strong by eating all the monster crystals.
Oh, no!
Yeah, and so everyone, they're gonna try to defeat it, but Belle, he's gonna get split up from the group.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, because, he's gotta go meet more fan service.
Wait, he what?
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna go meet this mermaid called Maria, and she's gonna be very helpful to him.
How so?
By being right next to him when he conveniently needs healing.
Oh, a very convenient healing mermaid.
And so eventually Belle's gonna reunite with his friends, and he's gonna kill the Moss Huge.
Oh, and does he?
With extreme ease, actually. He's pretty much like fire bolts, and that's that, actually.
Ah, cool.
And then everyone goes back to the 18th floor of the dungeon to celebrate, right?
Hodio!
But then they hear that their friend RYUU killed someone in the village.
Wait, just say, who was that one again? They all kind of blend together after a while.
She works in the tavern.
No, that does not narrow it down very much.
She helps him in the war games.
Still not getting
She's
it.
that elf who wears bloomers and thigh highs.
Oh yeah, blonde, like to dress in green, kind of always with a permanent scowl on her face. Yeah, I got
And
it.
then Belle and his party decide to join in the search for her because they think something weird is going on.
And why do they think that?
Because the plot needs to happen.
That works for sure.
And so eventually Belle catches up to RYUU, and it looks like she's about to kill this guy Jura, right?
Oh, no.
But then Belle figures out that this Jura guy, he's bad news, actually.
How does he figure it out?
By figuring it out.
I have no issue with that logic.
And so this Jura guy, he turns out to be like a monster tamer, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, and he's got these like snake monsters who are so strong they can burrow in between floors.
What's he gonna do with those?
Mostly they're just gonna stand there and look intimidating.
Doesn't sound that evil in all honesty.
But then Jura and his thugs are gonna explode a lot of bombs across the floor, and something really bad's gonna happen.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, this monster called the Juggernaut is gonna spawn in. Let me tell you, this thing is freaking crazy.
How so?
I'm so glad you asked, because I've composed a little rhyme to help explain the situation.
Oh, geez, this can't go anywhere good.
Some monsters you must fight, and from some you must flee, but beware the Juggernaut, lest you simply cease to be.
Oh, so if it touches you, does that just mean like you disappear into the ether?
No, not exactly. It rips you to shreds, but it's far faster than anyone can run.
Then why not say beware the Juggernaut lest you, get torn to shreds?
Because that's not as catchy.
Oh, I didn't realize we were going for catchy. Okay, in that case, that works.
And so this thing, it's gonna rip through adventure after adventure until it reaches Belle and RYUU, right?
Oh, man, so what are they gonna do?
Well, Jura's gonna attach a taming collar to it and try to get it to kill Belle.
Oh, does it do that?
For sure it does, just as soon as it kills Jura.
Wait, so did the taming collar work, or did it not work?
Yeah.
That wasn't any amount of words, it was just a collection of noises.
And then Belle, he's gotta fight the Juggernaut, right?
Oh, no, but Belle's the main character of this show. Surely he'll be fine, even if it's the Juggernaut.
Actually, he's gonna get his right arm ripped off and his neck snapped.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so Belle, he's dead for sure.
But he's the main character. He can't be dead because, he has insane plot armor.
Oh, yeah, you caught me. He's alive. And let me tell you, his plot armor is about to kick into overdrive because his mermaid healer just arrived.
Oh, the very convenient mermaid healer. Does she fix him right
For
up?
sure she does. And then Belle and RYUU
RYUU, they're gonna be fighting the Juggernaut when one of those snake monsters comes in, eats them, and drags them all the way down to a lower floor.
How many floors are we talking?
Around 10, all the way to the 37th floor.
Oh, that cannot be good.
No, it's really not at all. And to make matters worse, the Juggernaut followed them.
But do they have any chance of surviving that?
By being off screen for a little while.
What?
And so we're gonna spend some time with Belle's party instead, right? Okay, I hear what you're saying, but what if I said I wanted to hear more about Belle and RYUU, the main characters of this show?
I'd say that I think you should shut all the way up.
Oh, that is a good strategy. My vocal cords are losing strength as we speak. And so then Belle's party, they're looking for Belle, right? But then this floor boss is gonna appear.
Oh no!
Yeah, and this thing is like King Ghidorah if he had 2 heads instead of 3.
Oh, so it's a rip-off King Ghidorah, huh?
Exactly, and so everyone's freaking out because rip-off King Ghidorah wasn't supposed to respawn for another 2 weeks.
Well, why did
rip-off King Ghidorah spawn in early?
Because that works.
And so they gotta kill this thing, right? But it's looking like they might not actually be able to.
And do they manage to kill
By
it?
sheer plot convenience, they do manage to kill it, actually. And then the cave's collapsing, so they gotta run away.
Wow.
Yeah, but now they're trapped in the dungeon, so you know what they're gonna do next.
Use their insane plot armor to get it out of a lethal situation?
No. They're gonna use their insane plot armor to get even deeper into a lethal situation.
Well, that was slightly different.
It kinda is, yeah. And so then they're gonna be surrounded by monsters, and they're at the end of their rope, and then Welf decides he's gotta make a magic sword in the dungeon, because he found the ore to do that.
Wait, can he do that?
Well, it's never been done before, so, no.
Oh, so he's not gonna do it?
No, he's still gonna do it.
But I thought you said...
Doesn't matter what you think or what I may have just said, he's gonna make the sword, and it's gonna be crazy, and it's gonna be fire, and it's gonna be friggin' unbreakable, which is also impossible.
Impossible!
Exactly. Well, then, if he's got an unbreakable magic sword that spews fire everywhere, then surely he's gotta be stronger than everyone else in the party, maybe even on par with Belle. Well, let me tell you, it's gonna be just super unclear.
Why's that?
Because we're gonna jump back to Belle and RYUU's developing plotline.
Oh,
the actual main characters are main charactering in the story they're main characters in.
I know, crazy, right?
Yeah, so what are they up to?
Well,
They're gonna pick up some dead venturers stuff.
Okay.
And kill some sheep. You gotta kill those sheepy guys. And the Juggernaut, he's just chasing them.
But how do they manage to outrun the Juggernaut? I thought he was, like, super fast.
Oh, yeah, he is for sure. But until the final boss fight, he's just gonna kind of be, on the walls still... Just completely still like a spider almost.
Or why would he do that, though?
Because while they're going through all the floors, RYUU's gonna have some flashbacks.
Can she not, though? Can she please not?
Too late, and so essentially she was once part of the Estrella Familia, right?
Sounds cool, but I still don't like the flashbacks being shoved down my throat.
Well, then one day Jura's Familia laid a trap that accidentally summoned the Juggernaut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and everyone in RYUU's Familia except for her was killed, and she was excommunicated by their goddess.
Well, that's just heartbreaking.
Wait, since when could you tell what emotions people were feeling?
Yeah, it's part of this new book I'm reading called How to Trick Your Employees into Thinking You Care About Them.
Why does that sound like that's totally a real book?
And it says on page 69, 420 that if someone is excommunicated and all their friends die, then you should probably feel sad for that person.
Okay, what if those two things happen separately, though? What's the response for that?
You should also be sad, but just with a slight hint of, no, you're not getting any extra time off.
Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna move all the way on from that. And so then RYUU, in her anger, she killed everyone in Jura's Familia, and she was ready to die after that. But then Sears, she found her in the alleyway and gave her a job at the tavern.
Oh, okay, cool. So is that like an episode, 2 episodes?
Oh, no, that's like the first 5 minutes of about 10 episodes.
Why not just take a few episodes and dedicate it specifically to having some flashbacks?
Because we're actually trying to make this good, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We are doing that, huh?
So Belle and RYUU, they're gonna reach this Coliseum place, right?
Oh, what makes this place such a colossal scene?
Well, because it's got this special ability where, if you kill a monster, it'll respawn instantly.
Oh, and what are they gonna do to try and get through this thing?
Become 2 adventurers in 1 sheep's clothing.
That sounds like just the most terrible plan.
Well, let me tell you, the monsters also think, though, because they just immediately spot them.
Oh, no, are they gonna manage to escape?
RYUU's gonna try to get Belle to leave her behind, but he's like, I can't do that to you, you're best girl.
What?
And so Belle, he's gonna blow up the Coliseum, and they fall into, like, a secret safe zone that no one's ever found before.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and this place, it's got a stream of potable water in it, so you know what that means,
So
right?
they can refill their water bottles?
Immense fan service.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm talking back to back, we can see absolutely everything kind of levels of fan service.
Yeah, okay, I'm down for sure, yeah.
But then when they come out, they're gonna have to face the Juggernaut. Essentially, Belle's gonna fight it and strip it of all its armor so that RYUU can use her AoE magic to, kill it.
And does that end up working?
Oh, let me tell you, it does end up working, and they've killed the unkillable Juggernaut.
Wow, yeah, that sounds pretty epic, actually.
Yeah, but then they're both tired, exhausted, and about to die, right?
Oh, no!
Then the Xenos from that previous season came around and decided to rescue them.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, and we're gonna find out that Weenie, she's a bit larger than she used to be.
Bigger, like,
taller? She's taller. Yeah, there you go, that makes more sense. And the next thing Belle and RYUU know, they're in Aurario, and they're all safe.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and to celebrate, Belle and RYUU, they're gonna go out on a date together.
A date, huh?
And then RYUU, she's gonna realize she's got feelings for Belle.
Wait, did she not before? I thought it was kind of a given that if you were a female in this show, you were in love with Belle.
She did not. So then, of course, she's gonna do the natural reaction whenever someone finds out that they're in love with someone else, which is immediately run away.
Why?
Because feelings or something. And then we're gonna hear her deceased comrade telling her to not let Belle get away.
Wait, is that like a ghost or is it like a subconscious thing?
Oh, it is just the most unclear, but it doesn't matter because we're done.
Okay, cool, but I gotta tell you, that sounds like a lot of content for 12 episodes.
Oh, no. What I've just described here is the 22 episode season.
Well, we can't do that. People might expect us to
to actually pump out that many episodes in the future seasons as well. We might actually have to work if we try to do that. Look, do you want it to be good or not? I wanted to do product placement, but you were like, no, let's actually make it good, you know? Ugh. Well, too bad, because it's done now, and it's not like you can replace me or anything. Actually, I can very easily. I have at least 5 interns willing to fill the position. Wait, what? Anyway, assuming this thing is the success you hope it to be, what are we looking at in terms of season 5? Okay, you know, well, remember how Freya's got kind of her eyes on Belle, right? I mean, because she gave him the grimoire that eventually unlocked his firebolt skill, trained the Minotaur that eventually became Astrea's, and killed the Astra Familia when she even showed the slightest interest in Belle? Yeah, exactly that. No, I can't say I do in all honesty. Well, let me tell you, she's gonna start doing stuff and making moves and, you know, being a main character in this show. Oh, she is? Yeah, and so are the rest of her constantly unblinking, unfeeling, just permanent scowl-faced Familia. Those guys sound cool. Let's definitely put them right in the main visual. What? Hey guys, it's anime pitch meeting for the thing that you just finished watching. Anyway, if you want to see more Danmachi content, then click over here because there'll be a video that will lead you to it eventually. And if you don't want to see more Danmachi content, then first of all, go watch something else. Why are you here? Anyway, see you in the next one.